What's up, MHA owners? It's playoff time. Quarterfinals this past weekend. Two big matchups, couple teams on a bye. So not a lot to talk about, but we will fill the airtime as best we can. Eric Lansing, Mikey Renault, Todd Diamond. What's up, fellas? I guess I'm sounding a lot better than I did the last time.
Yeah.
Poor Aaron had to send me a text like, Eric, oh my gosh, you sounded awful on that podcast. Like, yes, I did. It was awful.
Did, but I still did it.
Still did it. I had to do a lot of editing. Figured out
I-
the mute button real quick, so at least I wasn't coughing in your guys' ear very often. But feeling better today on this Tuesday evening.
Awesome. Well, glad to
Back
hear
in
that.
Virginia, or back in Colorado, excuse me.
Fantastic. Yeah. Good. Glad you're feeling better. And I think we just have to do one quick little shout out on the podcast because something awesome did happen this weekend that was non-fantasy football stuff. We just have to throw a shout out. MSU Denver Volleyball, their first national championship ever in program history. So got to give it a shout out for that.
Yeah, I got a couple of texts from some old friends and pretty wild stuff to see. I mean, they lost their best player early in that tournament, and they still went on to win it all. And they beat a couple of amazing teams on the way. And as you mentioned, the first ever for the volleyball program in MSU Denver, the first one in RMAC and the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, first volleyball championship. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Phenomenal.
National champions.
Yeah, I was happy. I was happy that we were able to help them find their true identity.
Yes.
Or
a lot of that talk in this season for sure.
Fearless, and you had yours was Fearless
and Belief.
Belief,
a lot
and
of
mine
Belief
was,
talk too. Yeah.
Yep. And I said no quit in this team. No quit.
That's more of a Todd mannerism, but I think it applies here.
Yes, it. Thank you. My Toddisms are, they're sweeping the nation.
So while they're doing their thing, how about Phillip Rivers this weekend? Throwing a touchdown pass, 44 years old, haven't played since 2020. Almost helped him get the win. Didn't quite get the victory, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool that he was out there and shut up some of the naysayers, I guess, that's saying he shouldn't have been out there. But what did you think about it, Miguel?
I'm laughing because I'm just, as you're saying that, they're showing him on the TV screen.
Oh, how cool is that? On cue.
Yeah, it just looks like a potato throwing the ball.
I thought he looked okay, though, throwing the ball. I've seen worse.
But if anything, you have to say, old man Rivers, Grandpa Rivers. I mean, I think he's a grandfather. I think one of his, obviously all of his kids he has. I think he's the, he's not just, just a 44-year-old quarterback. He's a grandpa quarterback. That is. I mean, you go back in the NFL history books. 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road, you're like, yeah, Grandpa was in threw a touchdown or something. So there you go.
Is he the first ever quarterback to throw grandpa quarterback to throw a touchdown?
I would think so. Tom. We said Tom Brady was the oldest quarterback, ever to win a Super Bowl and everything, but I don't think he's a grandpa.
Brett Favre.
Oh, Brett Favre,
grandfather in 2010.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
Maybe the only two, but a couple of grandpas. There you have it.
There you go. Hey, anything's possible these days. I don't know. Either that or the market for quarterbacks were just, we're just that bad. They're like, yeah, let's go get. Yeah, what's Phillip Rivers doing? Oh, yeah.
Brett Favre. Big fact, he was also the first grandpa to show his penis on his cell phone to a reporter.
Yeah, but let's not talk about that. Some other interesting stats from this past weekend. Josh Allen accounted for at least 35 touchdowns in 6 different seasons, joining Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees as the only players in NFL history with at least 6 seasons of putting up 35-plus offensive touchdowns. And with that, Josh Allen in 2025 is the 3rd season which Josh Allen had at least 25 passing touchdowns and 12 rushing touchdowns. Can you name the other quarterback that has?
You said a rushing touchdown and a passing
25
touchdown.
passing touchdowns and 12 rushing touchdowns.
In NFL history or just right now this season?
No, NFL history.
Okay. I'll go with Randall Cunningham.
Was it Randall Cunningham? No, it wasn't.
That's
No,
always Todd's answer. It's one of
it
these
is.
days. One of these days, it will be Randall Cunningham.
He wants Randall Cunningham to be the answer to a question.
I'll say Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. No, no one in NFL history has done it before.
Oh, there you go. Stop asking us stupid questions.
Stupid question. Okay, I was gonna say no.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Yeah, I was probably gonna say too. Maybe my other answer besides Randall Cunningham may have been like Steve Young or something. That would have been a bad answer.
12 in a season is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, my answer would have been Cam Newton too, because he's a pretty good thrower and passer.
No, he isn't.
He was a good thrower and rusher, thrower and passer. That's the same thing, isn't it?
He wasn't a good passer, but I do like the hats he wears.
Oh, get out of here. He was saying he should have been the one playing instead of Phillip Rivers.
Maybe he's right.
Slap to the face is what he said. That's the problem. He says too much.
Yeah, that's right. That's the thing. If he limits himself of what he says sometimes, then people won't be like, people will be like, man, would you stop talking? But yeah.
Just another obnoxious talking head that for some reason people like to listen to. Anyways, some news.
I don't understand what the news is. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of you can't fix that happened that was horrible.
And of course, the biggest news, not only in the NFL world, but in our fantasy world, is the news of Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL and some of his other CLs. I don't know which one's LCL or MCL.
LCL, yeah.
But yeah, so gonna miss the rest of the season. And that's obviously huge for the Chiefs, who, after losing that game, have been eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mr. Lion Rip, that's a starting quarterback. They won't have him for the playoffs next week. What's he going to do? That's such a big news point here as I'm going through my stats here. I can't find my stats here. It disappeared. But for Mr. Patrick Mahomes, was the fourth highest scoring quarterback in our league. And now Aaron's got to make a decision whether he goes with Trevor Lawrence, who's currently on his roster, or if he picks someone else up. But that's the biggest news on the weekend. What else we got here? Todd's special favorite wide receiver, Puka Nacua, went out of the game on Sunday, but I think it was due to cramps. So he should be fine for Thursday.
He's kosher. We're good.
Maybe he just needed some cranberry juice. Speaking of wide receivers, Matt Stafford, other weapon, Davante Adams injures his hamstring on Sunday and is questionable for that Thursday night affair with the Seahawks. And while G had Davante Adams, obviously it's Todd's starting quarterback. And I'm sure Todd would love to have one of his best weapons out there for this Thursday night game against a tough Seattle defense. And then also for the Butterfingers, RJ Harvey, questionable after suffering a rib injury late in the Broncos game. And so a couple of injuries for Todd to keep an eye on. Josh Jacobs didn't practice today, but that's pretty much been the case for the past month. Like they didn't have a practice today anyway, but they said if it was a practice day, he wouldn't have practiced. But it's a lot of news about nothing, really.
Yeah, and
so he'll be fine. He'll be ready to go when it's his
just
time
like Harvey
on Saturday night.
Just like Harvey will be fine. He'll be fine. Harvey will be fine.
Are you sure about that? Is Harvey going to be okay?
Are you a trainer, Todd?
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I know ribs are serious, and you got to be very careful. But the ribs will heal. But
breathe, man. You got to be able to breathe.
And he'll breathe. He's breathing. He's breathing.
He'll breathe.
He's breathing. Like, put it this way. If it was more serious, I mean, obviously ribs are serious. But I'm just saying, if it was, they were, more and more worried. We'd got more information saying like, yeah, it's pretty serious. But they'll just has to just rest those ribs, and as long as he's breathing and breathing fine,
those ribs.
We'll have to rest him into next week.
No.
All right. Well,
Okay.
let's talk about those two playoff games. And we'll start with the number 3 Butterfingers versus number 6 Notorious CUP. CUP began the weekend with Tampa Bay's defense, and they did not play well against the Falcons' offense, who scored 29 points. How'd that happen? And they pulled off the upset against those Buccaneers. But we head to Sunday, and with Drake May, who has been an incredible late-round draft pick for Quayne and the Patriots quarterback, he scored 2 quick rushing touchdowns to score 24 points right out of the gate. CUP also had Travion Henderson, who was huge, racing for 2 big, long, extraordinary. I don't know where 2 big, long came from. Anyway, he had 2 long touchdown runs. The rookie finished with a huge, huge
awesome.
29 points. I don't know what I was thinking of when I typed this up. Anyway, but Drake May did almost absolutely nothing in the second half. Well, except watch Josh Allen go to work and make the comeback win. The Patriots are up 21-0 in that one. But May finished with just 34. That was incredibly surprising since he had those 2 touchdowns early in that one and then just kind of blah after that. Also running roughshod for CUP was Bears running back DeAndre Swift, who racked up 22 points on 2 rushing touchdowns against the Browns, but saw less than a stellar day from Brock Bowers, just 7 points, and then just 3 from Ladd McConkey. A majority of Todd's team played in the afternoon on Sunday, and of course, the dynamic duo of Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua showed out against the Lions, 67 points between the two. RJ Harvey scored a late touchdown for the Broncos and reached double figures, and Christian McCaffrey doing his thing, scoring his 14th touchdown on the season. And how about 24 from his kicker? It was another big point total for the 3rd highest scoring team in the MHA. And I got to go to that matchup because I have XXX, which means when I type this up, he didn't have his final point total. But the Butterfingers, 151 points, just 118 for Notorious CUP. So Todd, I'm assuming you had to work on Sunday, but yes. You see Travion bust 2 long runs and then 2 rushing touchdowns also for Mr. Drake May. Was there concerns at all, or did you feel pretty good knowing you had your best player still ahead of you?
I was a little. I was watching it. We had the games up on our phone, so I was watching. I saw that long touchdown. The long one he scored. I was like, oh my god, like DeAndre Swift. Are you kidding me? And Henderson doing it. Like, oh, this is and because I was a little nervous because I had Jamar Chase. I was like, come on, Jamar Chase, give me a touchdown. Like, let's go. And but I did know, but I obviously was still like, so I was like, I'm okay. I have my heavy hitters, my big 3 going in the afternoon. And obviously Matthew Stafford, what he's been doing. I mean, again, I think right now, as we can agree, maybe someone agree that he is he's the MVP. He's the MVP of the, fantasy, that we have to crunch the numbers, but he's probably the front runner for MVP for reality probably at this point. But like I said, but I knew he, and then Puka. Puka's been great. Puka's just been amazing all season long too as well. And Christian McCaffrey seems automatic no matter what. But yeah, I felt good, going into the afternoon games. I thought, yep, I got my heavy hitters. Let's go. And was able to get the win and move on.
Mikey, anything about this matchup that surprised you or that stood out to you?
What really hurt Quayne in the end was that Drake May didn't do anything in the second half. He still got points because of what Travion Henderson did in that second half, but he had a couple long runs, which really actually, while it got him points, it hurt from a perspective of, it was so quick that Drake May's not getting completions and adding up points that way. And he just didn't have enough. Todd's team, especially when guys like McCaffrey and Chase and Puka get going, it's hard. His team's good. It's hard to beat.
I agree. I think we can talk about the dud of Justin Jefferson again, but man, just to see another 3 points, even though they won that game 34-26. Justin Jefferson, I don't know if he dropped one or there was a chance he had a
Yeah.
chance to score a
He
touchdown.
he
But
had a touchdown, but there was a penalty. There was a
that's what it
holding
was.
penalty,
That's what it
yeah.
was. Yeah.
And he did
So
drop.
tough
He
to
did drop another one. He could have had two.
So see, there you go. Justin Jefferson, what a very disappointing season for that gentleman. And you mentioned it, Mikey. You said, "Oh, Justin Jefferson against Dallas. No one fails against Dallas. He failed. It's just Justin
Well,
Jefferson."
partially his fault.
Well, yes. All right, let's go to the other matchup. The number 4 Gonzo Cats versus number 5 Kilgore Trout. Pollen's team had won 5 of 6 coming into this playoff matchup. And that one loss, however, was to Joe's team in week 11. It was a 169-86 victory. Let's start with the ballsy move of the Gonzo Cats, who played Brian Thomas Jr., a guy that's been hurt and that's been bad and hasn't had a 10+ point outing since week 6. But Pollen rode with him anyway, and he was able to score a touchdown, registering 13 points. Texans running back Woody Marks also reached double digits for the second straight week. But the move of Jaden Higgins into the flex, that did not pan out for them, as the Texans wide receiver caught one solitary pass for 1 point. Pollen ran him instead of DJ Moore, who caught 2 touchdown passes and finished with 19. Would it come back to hurt him? Jameer Gibbs, one of the fantasy MVP candidates, he was putrid in week 15, just 8 points, his worst week since week 9. It was a David Montgomery type of day, and Gibbs, boy, he let a lot of fantasy owners down around the world. But how about Bo Nix coming to the rescue against the Packers defense at home? The Broncos quarterback recorded a 60-burger, throwing for 4 touchdown passes for the defending champs. Nico Collins once again showed why he might be an early pick next year as well. He's had double figures in 6 of his last 7 games. He had 19 points. George Kittle had a great week despite the slow start for him. He's been coming on of late, had a whale of a game, 8 catches and a touchdown for 18 points. But Stephon Diggs, he was abysmal, just 4 points. And Kenny Walker III, perhaps one of the more disappointing running backs this season, just 2 points in a game that he was needed more than ever. The Gonzo Cats held a 121-65 lead with the Sunday night and the Monday night game still left to go. Sunday night was Cowboys versus the Vikings, and Dak Prescott struggled against Minnesota, 23 completions and 0 touchdowns for 34 points. But it didn't help the Gonzo Cats as they had George Pickens, and he only managed 4 points in the game. So after Sunday night, Pollen's squad finished the weekend with 125 points, while Kilgore had 100 points, but still had Devin Achane and Chris Boswell still left to go. Things didn't look good for the defending champs, who didn't get much from either of his players through about the first 3 quarters. But Achane started to come alive. He was catching passes and helping the team move the chains on the ground. We come to the final 3.5 minutes left in the game. Miami was driving. After a few Achane receptions, all he needed was a touchdown to take the lead. But the Tua touchdown went to Darren Waller. It felt like it was over after that. But the Dolphins, they get the stop on the Steelers, and then they get the ball back and go down the field once again. And a chance for Mr. Achane to score that go-ahead touchdown, but it went to Darren Waller again. That was the end of the line for Kilgore Trout as they fall to the Gonzo Cats 125-119. Todd, is there anything about this matchup that you noticed? I mean, this was a little bit closer than your affair, but close one. But what stood out to you about this matchup?
I mean, obviously, Bo Nix just keeps shutting up the haters. I love it. Yeah, Bo leave. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, we can talk about Bo Nix to a live long day, but yeah, I mean, Stephon Diggs and Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is a very interesting one because with that backfield and Kenneth Walker being the primary back, but that team is definitely where it's shifting more of throwing than it is running, and he just didn't come up clutch in that game. But yeah, it's and you thought with Achane, okay, it's like Achane is Joe's Christian McCaffrey, and all right, let's see if he can HN's very capable of doing that, but it's still the Dolphins and everything. But yeah, I mean, even with the Higgins only getting 1 point, you're thinking, oh, like, okay, that opens the door. But 60 from Bo Nix, that helps a lot.
Yeah, totally agree. And we'll kind of just go to the dough of the week. And here, I mean, obviously, with Todd's matchup, it was a blowout. On this side, you could argue for Mr. Kilgore, who he talked about Kenny Walker, just 2 points. Stephon Diggs, 4 points, and he hadn't been doing well as of late. You could have said that he could have put in Troy Franklin, who had 16 points, and obviously would have made the difference, or Tony Pollard instead of Kenny Walker, and that would have made the difference. The only thing I thought of was, well, if he would put in Troy Franklin, that would have kind of helped offset some of Bo Nix's points coming in. But Mikey, anything that you want to say on that?
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be Pollard instead of Kenneth Walker.
Pollard had 28 the week before.
Yeah.
Although those are the moments that you take that chance, and he was he hadn't had a double-digit point total week since week 5 before that. So I could see where it's like, 28 points, and they'll go right back to 5 the next week.
Yeah, and
But,
Troy
yeah,
Franklin really hadn't had a bunch of big weeks either lately.
Yeah, that's true too. Whoops.
Mhm.
So yeah, there was a couple moves though. So Kilgore, and I know you were disappointed in your boy Kenny Walker for sure. But man, oh man, tough way to end the season for the defending champs.
Don't.
All right, let's go look at those studs who helped some of these teams advance to the next round.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Mikey, we'll start with you.
All right, so my first stud is going to be Bo Nix. I mean, that was the difference in the game is, Dak Prescott versus Bo Nix. You would have figured Prescott, he's had a great year.
Number 1 quarterback in our league in terms of scoring.
But man, Bo Nix, man, almost doubled him up. 4 big touchdowns for him. In a tough matchup against Green Bay. That's not a really quarterback friendly matchup this season. And so he really, really came through when Gonzo Cats needed him the most.
Bo Nix, 5th ranked scoring quarterback in our league behind Mahomes, Stafford, Josh Allen, and Dak Prescott, number 1. Wasn't number 1 this past week. Todd, give me another stud.
Well, I'll just give my pat myself on the back. But Matthew Stafford, man, dude just keeps throwing touchdowns like it's breathing. It's phenomenal. Keep it going. Keep it going. Again, this is a quarterback that I picked off just off of waivers because I didn't pick up a backup. And I got to thank Mikey for that too, because Mikey's like, Todd, why didn't you draft a backup quarterback for it? And I was like, oh, I'll pick one up. And like, come on, I need to pick up Stafford. So thank you, Mikey, for telling me to pick up a backup quarterback. I appreciate that.
So this is all Mikey's fault?
I mean, hey, I wasn't gonna pick up a backup.
I was more saying
it because Todd's belief in Brock Purdy. I mean, that's
where would we be if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt?
Good question.
I don't know. Probably still. Who knows where it is? But Matthew Stafford's been phenomenal. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah. He is great. And I'll just say, as a stud, I thought Jamar Chase finally showed up for you. Now I know he was suspended one game and had 4 points on another. But yeah, 16 points, the most points he's had since the trade. Didn't have a touchdown, but when you get 16 targets, and I know the big part of that was because T. Higgins was not playing on the weekend, but 10 catches for 132 yards, that's big time. And that's what you made this trade for, is to help you win in the playoffs. And if you don't win that championship, it hurts a little bit more when you don't have that second round pick next year, but you're still in it. And Jamar Chase was a part of that.
Yes, sir.
Todd, Mikey, you said you had another stud.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like out of any of the guys on Todd's team, it should be the kicker. Like
Yeah, kicker
six,
getting some love.
6 weeks in a row for Jason Myers in double
How good has
digits,
he
and
been?
his lowest score of that has been 13. So yeah, I mean, when you can rely on a kicker to give you scores like that every week, that's hard to be on the opposing side of that. That's hard to match. Because kickers, are not, as you know, like week to week. That's a hard one to get right and be reliable. Like I had Aubrey, and Aubrey's great, but there's times where like Dallas will go for it on fourth down and it'll take away points. I mean, Myers has been nails for
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Just for the record, Aubrey wasn't great this past week either. Missing just in a
Aubrey,
different league. I have him, and he
Aubrey
missed 2
was good.
kicks.
He
Was he
missed two
good?
kicks. Yeah, at least in our league, he had almost 17 points.
Oh well, in our other league, you get points if he misses,
He had
and he
6
missed
rushing
2.
yards too.
Oh, 6 rushing yards. I don't know if that was enough to help me, but anyway, Todd, did you have another stud?
Yes, I did. I had. Hold on 1 second. It was right. I'm gonna go with What I say? I'm just gonna go with Brian Thomas. I know it's only 13, but he's been kind of up and down a little bit. Like he's finally,
This is the
finally
best
figured.
up since week 6. 4, 5. He was hurt 3 weeks in a row. 3, 7.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of mentioned it on the recaps. Like, why would you play Brian Thomas? He ain't done nothing since week 6, and then he came through.
Yep.
So
So
I don't know if that's just gut or lack of options. I mean, obviously we talked about DJ Moore in his bench, but I mean, yeah, he didn't have much outside of that, so maybe not. But yeah, he definitely stepped up in a big way in a 48-20 win. I mean, how about those? I don't know if we're not talking about, I mean, obviously it's a fantasy podcast, but we haven't talked much about Jacksonville, and they're freaking right now would host a playoff game. And we'll see if Trevor Lawrence is the Aaron starting quarterback next week. And so we could be talking a lot more about this next week, depending on how well he does. All right. Well, let's go to some duds because we're out of studs.
This is the worst. You are the worst. I hate looking at your face. I want to smash it.
Todd, who stunk it up this past week?
yeah, I feel so bad, but to some degree I don't. But Justin Jefferson, oh man, for a wide receiver that is one of the best in the league, and and is always drafted maybe in top 5 or of each round. He just I don't know, the whole Minnesota team has just been hasn't been great, but Justin Jefferson not so good. Only 3 points, not what Quinn was looking for. He hasn't been great all season. I mean, he's only had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
It's got 5.
only 4. Sorry, I'm trying to do math. I know that's a challenge in itself. There's only 4 times this season he's had double digits. Other than that, it's been some 8s, it's been some 5s, it's been some 6s, it's been some 2s. Yeah, not. We got a 7 in there. It'd been funner if there was a 9 in there. I could have said niner, but
6,
yeah.
7.
No, Eric, you better you edit that out. No
What?
6, no.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with 6, 7?
No. So stupid. My brain hurts every time I hear that. I'm sorry.
As Mikey mentioned,
Yeah.
he could have had 2 touchdowns. He did not come down with them, and it was
No.
Dallas. He's one of the worst
Yeah.
passing defenses. Just goes to show it.
But
Yeah,
but
he's
but
been
to your point about the passing about they're one of the worst. Didn't they just pay they paid instead of Micah Parsons? Granted, Micah Parsons is done for the year, is done with the ACL, but didn't they pay what's his Blandon, I think his name, of like they paid him all the money instead of Parsons because he's supposed to be their best corner.
Guess not.
Paid the wrong person. Paid the wrong person.
Mikey, give me another dud.
I got to go with Drake May. Like, Quane's only way of winning this
Yep.
game was if May put up a huge number, and at the beginning of that game, it looked like he was going in that direction, but it just kind of fell flat on its face in the second half. And 34 points, I mean, that is not going to cut it. I mean, he was the one that was carrying this team, and yeah, 34. Not going to
Well,
do it.
you even said it last week. In order for Quane to win, he'd probably need to put up 60 points.
Yeah.
And didn't reach that.
Got half.
You got half of it, but that's definitely not enough. And it's too bad because I mean we were just pretty much singing his praises all season long. And he was a guy that carried Quane, even in those moments where his team stunk, but it was Drake May who actually kind of salvaged his week. And there was a couple times that he did so. And so it's just unfortunate that did not come up for him this week. One of the duds that I noticed, and this kind of covers both this week and all season long, but man, Lad McConkey, just 3 points, nowhere near what he was drafted at his price this season. 126 fantasy points, 61 receptions, 715 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And where was he drafted? 3rd round, something of that nature. I'll look it up as I yap here, but it was definitely not, late third round. And just one of those guys. Now we knew that whatchamacallit, the quarterback situation with Mr. Herbert, he wasn't 100%, but it wasn't just this week. And Herbert's had some big weeks, and McConkey's been all right at times, but he was hugely disappointing. Todd, did you have another dud from this past week?
Say Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's been, I don't know, up and down, a little bit too as well, but especially against the Colts, you'd think, and how well the Seahawks have been playing, obviously, this season, but Kenneth Walker just not, I don't know, not what you're expecting from a starting running back. And I'll put it this way: I think next year, I think he drops even more. I'm just not. I wouldn't trust him anymore. Again, he's only had, do math again, but only, well, he's had 5 double digit days, but they were all kind of all spread out, but not to a point where you feel comfortable, starting him every week. So I'll go with Kenneth Walker III.
I think with Kenny Walker as well, obviously a big part has been Zach Charbonnet, and he's stolen some of his carries and taking some of his time and his touchdowns. I mean, Kenny Walker, 132 points, which has him 25th amongst all running backs, and he was a late 3rd round pick as well. And then Charbonnet, I think, with 114. I think there was talk of a split at the beginning of the season, but everybody loved the idea is if Kenny Walker was 100%, he is going to feast, and he didn't really do that this season. And I don't know if that's bringing in a new quarterback, bringing in new offensive minds, but it just never really seemed to work with him. He had a couple great weeks early in the season, but there was times where Charbonnet came in and stole some of his love, and then they're throwing the ball a little. Jackson Smith and Jigba's getting all the touches for that squad, as Mikey knows better than anyone else. So definitely not what Kenny Walker was kind of projected to do this season. Mikey, did you have another dud?
Well, I mean, Dak Prescott is the other.
He's the other big name.
As you mentioned,
and we've talked
top
about him.
Quarterback in the league. What really hurt him, because from just first glance, like his stats in general weren't that bad. Like 23 completions for almost 300 yards. Okay, that seems pretty decent. But when they got down there, the 2 touchdowns went to the running backs, and then they had like 6 field goal attempts, so that scoring just didn't go the way of the pass.
Yeah, he had 4 straight weeks of 51 or more points. Just crazy. A lot of big numbers. And most of us agreed that Dak was going to have a big year. No Micah Parsons, at least at some point. And they knew they were going to have to throw a lot. We didn't believe in Javonte Williams, and Williams had a pretty good season. But he was still able to put up just huge passing numbers, just not this week. A big week for those defending champs. All right. So, what do the semifinal matchups look like? Well, number 1, Lion Rip, who earned the bye from last week, they'll take on the lower seed of the week, and that's going to be number 4, Gonzo Cats. The previous matchup, the Gonzo Cats lost both matches with Lion Rip this season. They lost 144 to 141 way back in week 2. And then 3 weeks later, Aaron's squad destroyed Pollen 172 to 111. And number 2, Lemonheads in the other semifinal, they had the bye. They'll take on number 3, Butterfingers. Previous matchup was way back in week 1. It was a 145 to 117 win for the Lemonheads. All 9 of their players had 9 or more points. And Todd was out there, as we mentioned, starting Brock Purdy way back in those days. So let's take a look in these semifinal matchups. Mikey, does anything caught your eye from that very first one? Aaron back at it this week. Do you see anything? Obviously, the Patrick Mahomes thing. Do you think he runs with Trevor Lawrence? Does he go pick up a Tua off the free agency? They have Cincinnati this week. He usually has a pretty good matchup.
I know that the matchup's not good for Trevor Lawrence, but there is no way. I don't care who he's facing. I'm not trusting Tua.
Scary thought for sure. But you're not scared of Trevor Lawrence against the Broncos?
Obviously, I would be, but I mean, are you? This is the playoffs. I just don't think that you can. Tua looked so very, very bad. And they're considering like him possibly benching him since they're eliminated from the playoffs too. Like if he were to start off bad in that game and they yank him, there's just I can't take that chance if I'm Aaron.
Now, it's so funny that we're talking about this now, but for us to be saying we should trust Trevor Lawrence, is that what you're saying on the opposite side of that coin?
No, I'm saying that above Tua I would. You gave me the option of Tua.
Okay. So would you prefer Tua or would you prefer Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
So Trevor Lawrence had 74 points against the Jets last week. Obviously, his best game probably ever in his career. Prior to that, he had some okay matches, middle of the pack matchups, 40 points against Indy, 41 against Tennessee, 41 against Arizona, and then a couple of tough matchups against the Chargers. He had 31 points, and then Houston, 24 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then Denver, the highest points they've given up this season was 55 to Marcus Mariota. Out of all the players that they've had to deal. I mean, talk about Patrick Mahomes against the Broncos. He had 44.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, just given those 2 options, I would take Lawrence. But
okay,
what
other options are we looking at here?
I mean, you're looking at not a lot of good ones, but I mean, Bryce Young is an option. I know he's terribly inconsistent, but is going against a Tampa defense that just got lit up by Kirk Cousins. So, that could be a potential option. Gardner Minshew could possibly be an option against a really bad Tennessee defense, and I don't really know what to expect as far as the Chiefs if they're going to rest any of their dudes, but yeah, I mean he's an option, to be honest.
All right, Todd, anything else you see about this matchup between Lion Rip and Gonzo Cats?
Well,
Bijan's projected to be the number 1 running back in terms of points scored by a running back this week. His running back trio is always going to be a problem.
Yeah.
They've got some good matchups.
Yeah, I looking at it, I mean, Gibbs and Bo Nix are Gonzo Cats. You know those are his two heavy hitters. I mean, for sure. Um, I mean Pickens. Obviously when CeeDee Lamb was out, but Pickens definitely obviously gets a lot of targets as well too. Um, yeah, I don't know and then and then Michael Wilson. Very interesting. Wide receiver for the Cardinals. Obviously Trey McBride's the number one option, obviously in that offense, and Marvin Harrison Jr. has been hurt a lot. But yeah, I think it's. And too, Aaron hasn't, and obviously, like I said, Aaron hasn't picked the defense yet. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. This is definitely gonna be because I think where it's ultimately gonna come down to it will be, Bo Nix versus Trevor Lawrence in the afternoon game. I think that'll be the determining factor. I don't think there's no Monday night games in their matchups or anything. Well, actually, no, there is. It's Jonathan Taylor. So, yeah, it really could dictate Bo Nix versus Trevor Lawrence. I think that's the matchup. That's where you're focusing in on who wins this matchup. I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously, John and Jonathan Taylor for sure. Obviously, those is 1-2 punch at running back there, but. I think it comes down to that 205 game, fellas. That's where that's where it determines who really who wins in this matchup. So that's where I see it.
So
You
so
feel the
I give
same,
Aaron
Miguel? Go
I
ahead.
give Aaron I give Aaron the advantage, but here's where this thing could get kind of stupid.
Okay.
Is Gonzo Cats has the Houston Texans defense playing
Mm-hmm.
at home against the Raiders.
Okay.
If that defense puts up a stupid number, I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking 25 plus,
Mm-hmm.
then Gonzo Cats absolutely has a good chance to pull this out. That is
Mm.
that is like the best of matchups that a defense could possibly have.
Yeah. But
Let's
but
not forget about Jahmyr Gibbs. I know he wasn't great last week, but this is a dude that we've seen hit 36, 53, 33,
Well, I know,
32.
but what I kind
I
of look
guess he
at
needs to
is
be up. He needs to put up good numbers to keep up with the other three from Aaron.
right, and that's the way I kind of look at it is like, okay, those kind of cancel each other out. But so then I have to look at, okay, what's going to be the outlier here, and then I think that defenses could be where because I don't like the wide receiver matchups that Gonzo Cats has at all. But
Yeah.
yeah, where he's got something is that defense. We'll see where Aaron goes with his defense, but
All right.
yeah.
And so the other semifinal matchup, as we mentioned, number 2 Lemonheads versus number 3 Butterfingers. Todd, you see this, and Thursday, quick turnaround for your squad to see how things are going to be laid out for the weekend.
Well, obviously I know I'm a man of many words and I have a lot of them, but plain and simple, Thursday night is will period and exclamation point and everything will dictate how the matchup will go. If Matthew Stafford and Puka and obviously even my kicker, if he has a lot of kicks a lot of field goals and Stafford and Puka put up a lot of touchdowns, then I feel good going into it. So plain and simple, it's Thursday night is the will dictate everything. Will dictate this entire matchup because when your quarterback goes first, when your goes first, for you, Eric, that's that gives you maybe a little bit of it gives you an advantage of like, all right, whatever Stafford puts up, you got to tell Goff like, all right, man, this is what you got. This is what you got to put up because and it's not just the fact that your, Goff plays in the afternoon. So really you have, Goff really can look back and sit back and say, okay, this is what I need to do. and then I guess too, depending on, I do have McCaffrey going on Monday night. So again, it could come down to Monday night as well too. But at the end of the day, it's still Thursday night because it's Puka, it's Stafford and Puka. Those are my, 1, 2. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, it's happened. Obviously, it's happened, already this season. But when the Rams played the 49ers on a Thursday night, that game was, holy crap. That was going back and forth. That was a high scoring game. I mean, I have to go back and look and see, but I think Stafford had
58.
yeah. Well, he had 58 or 61. It was 60.
I don't know. He had 61 against San Francisco in week 5 and then 58 in week 7. So
Okay. So yeah. Either way, that those the just the way and having all three of my players in my big three in the same game play. That's fantasy football. That's like a buffet of just deliciousness. So, but
buffet
yeah,
of deliciousness.
yeah, just the points. So yeah, but again, it's not gonna be easy. This is not gonna be easy. I mean,
Mikey, how do you see it?
I
What's
worry
going to
for
be the
Todd.
difference in this one?
I worry about Todd, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
That game on Thursday night is supposed to be windy with a 75% chance of rain. And in games that I have seen Stafford with weather, he has struggled.
Well, there was that one game in London or wherever it was raining and stuff like that, and he put up a lot of points.
I also worry that the last time he faced Seattle shut him down pretty good. He only had
32 points.
32 points against Seattle, and so yeah, no Devonte Adams in bad weather on the
Yeah, just more points.
road. Like this game feels like it's going to be low scoring, which is good for your kicker, but bad for your quarterback. I could be wrong, and there could just be a ton of points, but I don't know. My gut tells me this game is going to be probably, I don't know, 20-17, something around there. And I just don't know if he's
That would be a
stepping.
buffet of deliciousness. Give it to me. 20-17. I have to work that night too, so I can just keep up with it on my phone. But
Yeah, the other thing that worries me with Todd is teams have kind of learned with Shadur in there. Like last 2 weeks, Quinshad Judkins has been terrible. He was not even averaging 2 yards a carry. Like they're just loading up the box to stop him and forcing Shadur to beat him, which honestly is the smart strategy. They are playing against Buffalo, who's terrible against the run, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, you're going to need big performances, I think, out of Jamar Chase and Christian McCaffrey. And in Eric's case, I think Goff is in a really good spot. Now, I will say this: Goff can fail that good spot. I've seen that before too. But yeah, I mean, Trey McBride has just been awesome every single week. As long as Brissett's in there, he'll be fine. Eric has the Pittsburgh running back relay, which I don't like, but yeah, it's gonna be fun.
yeah, I know that's what I have at the moment. But it could work out too. Detroit's given up some big numbers to running backs as of late, but they're more of the outliers than the Josh Jacobs and the CD Lambs and the McBrides. Well, I picked up that Saints defense early. I hope that pans out. But Mike, how many times have I complained about the Jets and their special teams?
And you're going back to it.
Well, I mean, you have to because their quarterback is like a 4-string quarterback who just threw 3 picks.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to. And it's at home. That's anytime you get a defense at home, that helps. But yeah, I think it'll be close. Well, there you have it, gentlemen. heading into the semifinals. 4 teams left to go. And it's cool to see that 2 of us here on this podcast are going at it for a chance to go back to the championship game. One of us will be in the championship game.
Yep.
Should be good. Should be fun.
Yep. Do some. I don't know if some walls are going to be punched, but I don't know. We'll see.
I guess Todd's going to be punching walls. I don't know if I'm going to be punching walls.
You punched the wall one
I
time.
always punch my leg if I get upset with something. It's always my thigh. That's the meaty part of the leg. So
okay, yeah.
It doesn't hurt as bad, but
either way,
we'll see how he does. I feel good about Goff. He's at home. It's indoors. He'll be okay. It's just a matter if they destroy Pittsburgh and it's over early, or if Pittsburgh can keep up with them, then that'll be helpful. So there you have it. All right, gentlemen. Well, thanks for coming out here on a Tuesday night. You guys have a good rest of your week, and good luck to everyone in the semifinals except Todd. We'll see you next time on that MHA podcast.